Hey everybody, welcome. We're going to start a little bit late. I mean, I know I'm always joking here that everything starts at 4-ish and 1-ish and all that stuff, but when we have people come in from who are not members of the church, don't know where it is, we're going to give a couple of minutes. We'll get started about 4:03-ish. All right, anyway, thanks, Nick. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome, and thanks for coming. We're going to, hopefully you all got a program, and you see the pieces that are listed here today. But also, in addition to the lovely harp music that you will hear, I want to share with you Magdalena's harp story. And even now, people were asking me, like, how did you get this thing, and how did this come about, and why did you pick that one? Well, I will tell you. But, and there's a couple of reasons I'm doing so. One is that I'm very proud of my daughter, and I love to brag on her, and so it's my prerogative to do so today as the proud papa. I'll be sharing that for you in a bit, but first, let's hear the first two pieces, and welcome Magdalena. All right, part one. Magdalena inherits a harp. My mother was a piano teacher and a church organist. And at the age of 60, she decided she wanted to try something new. She thought, why not learn the harp? And the harp showed up about the same time Magdalena did, in the summer of 2003. In fact, it was on the occasion of Magdalena's baptism when my parents came out to visit us. We were living in Southern California at the time, and that's when my mom bought a small little folk harp. And it was kind of showed up the same time Magda did, like I said. Well, over time, Grandma would let little Magdalena play on her harp, and Grandma would upgrade and get a bigger harp, and eventually she ended up getting a beautiful lever harp, maybe 5 foot tall, 4 foot, whatever it is. It was made of African bubinga. It's a beautiful harp. And Magdalena was told, someday, Magda, you will inherit this harp. Well, sadly, in 2014, my mother died of pancreatic cancer, much sooner than we thought. And so while this one day, someday off in the future, when Magdalena would inherit a harp, actually happened when Magdalena was 12 years old. And that is how we got the harp for Magdalena and how this whole thing started. Much sooner than we thought. There's more to go, but let's hear Magdalena play. Part 2. Magdalena begins. I don't remember exactly when it was that Grandpa brought the harp down to Dallas, or Plano here, and late 2014, early 2015. And I should probably mention that Grandpa has been one of Magda's biggest supporters throughout this. When he wanted to make sure that Grandma's harp was played, and he encouraged right away, saying he would help cover the cost of lessons. He wanted to make sure that Magdalena would go on to be successful at the harp. Well, now that Magdalena had a harp, she needed a teacher. And I said I would be acknowledging people along the way. I'm happy to say her teacher is here. Miss Park, would you mind standing up so we can acknowledge you and thank you? This wonderful Christian woman. This wonderful Christian woman is very dear to Magdalena and to her mother and I. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for everything you have done for our daughter over these years in teaching her. And she took a special interest in Magdalena right away, worked with her, encouraged her. Early on, and she pushed her always to get better too. I remember early on, she wanted to, she said Magdalena should compete in this Dallas Harp Society event. And we thought, we don't think it's that great that Magdalena doesn't need to, she didn't care about this stuff, and yet we said it'd be a good experience for you. So we went to this competition in Fort Worth. She was so nervous. Well, I'll get to the end. The point is, by the time it was done, she had won the thing at age 14, and we were so proud of her and so thrilled when she gave her performance. It was great, and we were so happy. Thanks to Miss Park, those sort of things happen. Another early success was that you encouraged her to be a part of the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra, which she auditioned for and was accepted into and played for a year, and then sadly COVID kind of sidetracked that. But anyway, an important part of Magdalena from the very beginning has been her teacher, Miss Park. Thank you so much for being here. Part 3, Magdalena's new harp. Well, it happened when I was visiting with a member of the church, and I was bragging about my daughter. This has been going on for some time. It's what dads do. At any rate, the thing about Magda winning this competition, I was bragging about that she had won this thing. The problem is she had maxed out. You see, at age 14, you can compete with a lever harp, but after that, you have to compete with a full-sized pedal harp. A lever harp it switches the accidentals by you switch little levers at the top, and the problem is you have to move your hands off the strings continuously. Magdalena is tightening the strings and loosening them with her pedals, with her feet. And so it's a substantially different, this is the grown-up edition, the other one's kind of the starter. So we just needed to get Magdalena a pedal harp. The only problem is these things cost about as much as a car. And so it was kind of wondering if this would even happen at all and how we could do this. Well, anyway, I was bragging to this member of the church about my daughter. And this member, I don't know, without her, I don't know that we would be here today. And I don't think she'd want me to name hers, so I'll just, you know who you are, and thank you very much. What she did is not just say, Magdalena, I'm going to buy you a harp. What she did is say, I'm going to put down enough that you can do this if you're invested in it. And, well, we had some conversations after that, didn't we? With this offer on the table, I had a very heart-to-heart with my 13-year-old, 14-year-old daughter, whatever it was. I said, if we do this, you are now a harpist. You will not change your mind in 2 years. You are not going to get tired of this and put this down and get into something else. This is now this will translate into scholarships for the college and everything else, right? We also agreed she would pay a portion of the cost. And once all of the necessary solemn promises were made, we began to shop for a harp. When a friend from California heard that we were in the market for a pedal harp, they made a contribution, or you might say an investment, from the William R. Hampton Trust Fund. Pastor Hampton was a personal friend, pastor and musician who would have been thrilled to see today and what's going on here. And that friend from California is also with us today. Thanks for making that possible. But another significant contributor, without whom today would not be possible, is watching online, and that is my father. Magdalena's grandfather was very generous in helping to make this happen. Again, really wanting to see Magdalena excel on the harp, see her succeed. And I know that if my mother were here today, she would be so very proud to see how well you have done. Again, thank you, Dad, and to everybody who has helped us along the way and encouraged Magdalena. I think you can see today that your generosity was not wasted and that she has worked very hard and committed herself to this wholeheartedly and even exceeded many of our expectations. Part 4, Magdalena's Harp and the Future. Magdalena's Harp is a Lion and Healy Chicago Series concert grand. And if you've never seen a pedal harp up close, come and check it out afterwards. Don't touch. You can touch if she says so. Anyway, it's an amazing handmade piece of art. It's an amazing instrument, and just the machinery of it, the way it all works, and that you've got levers and pulleys going through this that are connected. It's amazing. We ordered it from the factory in Chicago. It was delivered in May of 2017, and not long after that, she actually got her first paying gig at a wedding, and first of many, we hope. In November of 2019, we had the chance to actually go to Lion and Healy, and we went to Chicago, and we saw how these things are made and all that goes into it, and it was really an education. It was a great time, but the best part of the tour was when it was over, Magdalena wanted to play everything in the showroom floor, and they let her because, well, we were paying customers. And I think she even played a harp that was cost as much as our house. Anyway, fun time. The occasion for the tour was scouting out colleges. And we headed from Milwaukee, where our oldest son now goes to college, all the way to Michigan, where Magdalena will be attending college in the fall at Hillsdale College. And as you can tell, Magdalena has worked very hard. Her mother and I are so very proud of her. And I'm happy to say that Hillsdale and a few other colleges also noticed her hard work too and offered her a scholarship for playing her harp, roughly equal to the cost of the harp. Thank you very much. Well done, daughter. Very well done, my dear. So as for the future, the hope of her mother and me is that she will use this talent God has given her, along with all the hard work that you have put in, to continue to bless people with your harp playing for many years to come. Everybody, thanks for coming. We have refreshments in the other room, and we hope you will join us. Boys, why don't you hold the doors open for everybody? The quickest way over is that. And like I said, if you want to come over and see the harp and tell my daughter how great she is, that would be wonderful. I'm so proud of you, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.